the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the awards because they were really fun, except for one part, one dark secret, one dirty, dark secret about the awards that I will be the first to reveal today. Let me tell you, let's bring it back to the beginning. First of all, we show up late. This is a little bit late though, and it turned out to be the best thing in the world. I think all of the times that Cutie Cinderella sent to presenters were knowing that all streamers would be late. If I had showed up on time, I would have been sitting on my ass forever. And most importantly, the big win of the day, because of when I showed up, my place in line was with Germa. I got to fucking hang out with Germa for like 30, 45 minutes while we were getting COVID tested. And what was crazy was that Germa was such an anti-vaxxer. So it was just cool. I never got to meet Germa before, and we had a great time talking. Then Stanzy showed up. Stans dripped to the nines. Stans' fit was crazy, dumb hard. He looked like Jack Harlow. He did. And also Connor. Connor Eats Pants, if you guys didn't see. I mean, not to be out dripped by Stans. Connor Eats Pants shows up in a fucking turtleneck, shades, and a fucking shadow chain. A literal fucking custom shadow chain, blinged out of his mind. And I was telling everybody who was asking about it that it was $300,000. Now, I think my understanding is that it was like 200 bucks. It was more for the novelty, but I was telling everybody, no, it's real. It's $300,000. It's a custom. I walk into the award show and I have to, you have these little cards tell you what to do. And my card said, get interviewed by Nim. And I wait a little bit and then I get interviewed by him. And it's like a normal interview. I think Nim's like, hey, how you doing? Right as I walk away from the interview, Slime, who's right over there, yells, you look like shit! You look like shit, bro! So I start talking shit back because I know Slime. And then I get pulled into a second, and this is like not my scheduled interview. Also, before it comes out, I stayed at Ludwig's last night. When I woke up this morning, I was on the computer doing work stuff, and Slime comes in, shuts the door behind him, and fucking turns his camera on, points at me, and farts as loud and as long as he can. An insanely loud and long fart, and then giggles. And then I just look at him incredulous. What the fuck are you doing? And so I'm sure that video will come up any fucking second now. If people asked when you were on the street, it was an event. But I didn't know that. And they were all asking like, so what's this? And I'm like, this? At the Fonda Theater? It's the Streamer Awards! I want everyone to know. All the streamers are here. Valkyrie's here and she doesn't like her Reflect deal. So speaking of Valkyrie, we get inside and one of the first people I see is Valkyrie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I won't lie. I won't make a fake story here, even though I'd love to. I walked up to her. She immediately gave me a hug, said thank you for what you did, and everybody clapped. I definitely did not puss out. I definitely did not see Valkyrie want to say hi and make a joke about it. Think, what if she doesn't like that? And go sit with my friends. Because that would have been lame. But no, in all honesty, I saw her. I asked Stans. Stans is the worst person to ask though. If you want to like, should I do it? If it was like fucking, should I add mustard to a fucking sandwich? You'd be like, well, don't take any risks. Cutie Cinderella, before the event, I think the day before the event, tells us that there will be a teleprompter, but there will be nothing on it for you. I don't know. I showed up and I'm figuring this out and I'm like, oh, I got to think of something to say. I was thinking, what if I make a joke about Valkyrie? So that was my working draft for most of the day. Come up on stage, be it natural. What's up, Miz? What's up? Oh, hey, Valkyrie, you're welcome for, something like that. Then, like the second they grab me, because you have an assigned seat, and then like these handlers would come to your table and tap you on the shoulder and take you backstage. The second I'm walking back there, I'm like, no, wait, this sucks. Like everything I had planned to say, when it was finally time to walk towards the front, I was like, wait, this is terrible. Like, this is so bad. Well, I should never, this is what an awful thing. Plus, it'll take too long. Everyone else's speech is pretty short. It was like one line. Like you say one or two lines that are funny, and then you go to the nominees. You're not like fucking doing a stand-up set up there. I'm not like working the crowd, doing crowd work. So I'm like, oh, well, fuck. So I have to rethink everything I'm saying. And then when I get back there, while I'm thinking of it, Cutie goes, hey, 100% confirmed, Mango's not coming. So if you guys don't know, I presented the Smash Award, which was an award almost created for Mango. Not every game had an award, you know what I'm saying? But Smash Bros did. And for me, a Smash fan, like lifelong, love Mango, big fan. It was like, I was really honored. I wanted that. I asked Cutie for like, that was the one. She asked me for 100% and I was like, can I do the Smash Award? So the whole night before, before I go up there and before the show starts, when everyone's just milling about, drinking, saying hi, introducing themselves. By the way, I met Wubby at the bar, had a couple drinks with him. I fucking love Wubby. He's so funny and nice. And then we're milling about and Hungrybox is slamming some drinks. I don't think he's drunk. And Hungrybox is telling everybody who will listen in the whole venue that he's going to rush the stage if Mango wins. I'm rushing the stage. And I'm like, and he's like, his face goes serious. And he's like, no, I'm not kidding. And I'm like, don't do that. He's saying this over and over. And he's like trying to get base. I think he's just trying to get enough people to know about it so that he has permission. Permission in the air. If nobody says direct no, then he's going to just feel the room out and do it. And I didn't say direct no. I said, you know, I don't think you should do that, man. And then I get backstage. I'm thinking up my new speech. I'm like, fuck, trying to figure it out. Cutie comes to me and she's like, yeah, Mango's 100% not coming. If Mango's not coming, HBox is definitely rushing this day. I tell her that, like, what he said, she hadn't heard. I'm like, you know what? Let's just have him come up. So there's a speech. End of the day, if he rushes it, it's weird, right? But if we call him up and make it like a funny dig at Mango for not being there, then everybody wins. A lot of people in this room are motivated by money. Like Mizkif. And a lot of people in this room are motivated by clout. Also like Mizkif. But I can guarantee the 4 nominees about to read were not motivated by any of that because it's Smash Bros. Oh, they blurred it? They bleeped it?
It's only love. And without further ado.
Oh, it wasn't video.
The one person who didn't show up, Mango. And I think...
It's so fucking they zoomed in on his chair. By the way, this chair was right next to me. Literally, I am the chair, like, to the left of this. I could have been backslapping Mango, giving him a hug, and instead I got the empty fucking chair reserved for Mango. Dad didn't show up to my soccer game, dude. That being said, okay, I'm giving Mango a lot of shit here, but he put out a tweet that was very vulnerable and honest. If you're wondering, thought about going, it just made me feel really anxious. I think everyone thinks I'm super social, but I'm really not. Then I thought about not going, and I felt bad because I wanted to support Cutie and felt like I let people down. Glad it's over, Raffle. And like, that's fair. I can understand that feeling. Like when I was thinking about walking over to Valkyrie's group and saying hi. And I didn't, and I get it, okay? It sucks that anxiety got the best of him in this case because he would have had a great time. Did you, I met XUC, yeah. I met XUC. He asked me if I still worked at NVIDIA. XUC thinks the coolest thing about me is that I worked at NVIDIA. Work at NVIDIA. But he constantly thinks that I quit, and I haven't. I'm still there. And so he keeps asking about that. Did you meet Emiru? No! And Emiru I did want to meet. I never, ever ran into Emiru. That was actually the only person, I think, that I didn't get to meet that I wanted to meet. Emmy, talking about you briefly.
There, I
Who?
think that,
Yeah.
I agree. No, I agree. Atrioc is on the right there. I
Who?
think that maybe he needed to get his
I'm sorry.
suit fitted
That was
in.
an ugly cackle.
Very funny every time. It's funny every time, Emmy. Speedrunner awards come up. Okay, so that's my turn for the award. I knew that I would lose to Smollett. I had no presuppositions that I would win. So this part is actually kind of sad. After I lose, I'm told later, I don't even know if I should say who by, that the vote was actually so incredibly close. They said it was me and Smallant. It was fucking razor close. They had to do a recount. So that, and they were telling me this to make me feel better. And I was being like, that sucks. Because I thought I got blown out 20-1, which is fine. So I was a little bummed when I heard that because I thought, man, if I just tried a little harder or like released some Hitman records or, did some stuff, then I probably could have had a real shot at it. But end of the day, here's the thing I realized. If me, Stans, and Lud win, the awards are rigged, dude. And fucking LSF will hear the end of it. So I got to take the fall so that they can rig Stans and Lud's award. You know what I'm saying? Skara and I'm putting this out there right now. I'm putting it in the universe. We said it when we were drunk, but we're going to make it, we're going to manifest it. Skara and I are going to do a drunk TFT gambling stream with 6 other streamers when the new set comes out. We're all going to get in the same call, get drunk, put money on the line, winner takes all. We're going to do that. After the awards, there's a rooftop mini after party. And at the mini after party, this is where the night takes a turn. I bump into Simply and Poke Lols. And I don't know Poke, but I think he's really funny. So I'm just hanging out with him. We're making jokes. And then Poke goes, do you want to hit my rarest blunt? Which is a phrase I've never heard, right? I've never heard someone refer to a blunt as their rarest blunt. And despite what fucking YouTube comments think, outside of like a very occasional, like once every 3 months edible, I don't do any drugs. But when Poke Lol says, do you want to hit my rarest blunt? I don't say no. You don't say no to that opportunity. So I go, yeah. And so he reaches into his fucking suit pocket and pulls out a golden cylinder. And then he unscrews the top and takes out the fattest, like, golden blunt that I've ever seen. And he sniffs it and he's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. He hands it to Simply. Simply sniffs it. He's like, oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. He hands it to me. I'm like, I sniff it. It's a blunt, dude. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I'm like, oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. He lights it. And we have a blunt rotation with this epic golden blunt. It hits instantly. Usually it takes a while for weed to hit for me. It hits almost instantly for me. It's the Elden blunt. Yeah, so I start getting really high. In the early phase of being high, you're laughing, having a good time, which I did. I was giggling at everything, and I already giggle a good amount. So I'm giggling at everybody's jokes. Everything's fun. And then for me, it always goes like this. If you get high enough, the beginning part, you're doing giggling, laughing, out there, having a good time. And then the later part, like the later part of the high is like sinking to the floors. And that's what it was. The beginning part happens, having a good time. And then right as that the mini after party ends, all right, we're all going to the real after party at Buddha's mansion. And I don't know Buddha. I don't know how he's got this kind of money. I don't know if he rented it maybe, but we all Uber back to the nicest fucking $40 million LA mansion I've ever seen. It looks like fucking where Kanye would live. So we go there, but when I get there, I'm uncomfortably high. I'm existential dread high and I'm uncomfortable. And then this is when I bumped into Hassan. And this is the part that I'm so embarrassed about. It's like everything went good. The whole night went great. I feel like I was charming in all my interactions, but I ran into Hassan and first of all, I'm high, dude. I'm just off my game. I'm uncomfortable. I like lock eyes with him. I don't know. I meet him and then he looks at me and I look at him. And first of all, I'm slow. So we're just staring for a bit. And then he raises his hand first and he goes, hey, and he goes, Atrioc, right? So he like recognized, he knew who I was. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And I'm like, hey, I like your stuff. I think he's also a little drunk because he's laughing way too much at everything. But we stare for a bit and then it opens up and the conversation is all right. But I'm just trying to get out of there because I can't formulate I don't know what I'm doing in the conversation. So I don't know how to approach the conversation and I don't have anything I want out of it. All I want to do is like make a nice impression and leave. And then Ari comes in and comes over. And again, Ari has a friend who is a big fan of Hassan. Ari's friend wants her to get a picture with Hassan. I had told her previously, probably not to ask him at the party. Because she's like, hey, can you introduce me to Hassan? I want to get a photo. And I was like, first of all, I don't think asking for pictures at a party is cool. I don't think you should do it. And then also I said, like, I don't know him. Like, he doesn't know me. That's what I told her. And I didn't know if that was true or not, but that's what I told her. I was like, he doesn't know me. He is already introduced, so he didn't know. He knew my name. He knew my stuff. He said, I've seen your stuff. But she comes up, and because she's got a little tipsiness or something, or I misread what was going on, she gets the photo, and then she just, to me, it's like she's screaming this. I thought you said he doesn't know you. Wait, and she's like asking him, wait, you heard of Atrioc? And she points to me. You've heard of Atrioc? And then she's like, because he said you wouldn't know him. He said you wouldn't have any idea who you are. And then he's laughing like crazy, dude. My default response in a situation like this is to laugh with it, just to go with it. But because I'm so high and I'm paranoid, I feel like this is going worse than it is. And so I'm like clamming up in a way that I don't normally do. I'm not laughing with everybody. So the whole thing just feels so awkward. And I don't know how to respond to it. And so I'm like just trying to get out of there. I'm just like, babe, we gotta go. Wait. And I'm like, we gotta go. I'm like, yeah, he knows. He knows who I am. And I walk out of there, like, I don't even get a good goodbye. I'm like, yeah, and I just shake his hand, I'm out of there. And the whole thing just feels awful. On my experience, it feels awful. And so that was the biggest negative side effect of the Midas blunt. After that, though, we left. We left the party. Wait, is that Ari? This is beef. This is literally this is actually the moment. Ari's right there, looking at the photo, having taken the photo. Hassan's right there. I'm right here. And then JHB's just playing fucking Wordle the whole time. In my mind, everyone's looking. JHB, no one's looking. In my mind, the entire party's like, what is going on over there? Bro, he's playing fucking Wordle. No one cares. Everyone chat says hi to you.
Yeah.
Ari MVP.
He was scolding me hardcore, and I felt really bad. I still do until I heard the story from Brandon's POV. Babe, what you did was so embarrassing. I was like, what's happening?
I think next year's gonna be insane, but I'm also worried about next year because nobody thought this would be what it was. And so like almost nobody campaigned. Next year, everyone's gonna fucking try hard, dude. Everyone's gonna go nuts next year to try and get. XUC shot a man in cold blood right outside the venue, and everybody looked the other way. He's too powerful. Still my juicer. That's what the crowd said.